What's good, everybody, man? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Carter Sports Coverage, man. What's good? I'm your boy, SB Cash. As y'all can see, my boy Ryan ain't with me, man. You know he'll be back next week. On this week's episode, man, we got through week 1 of the opening NFL season, man. We're going to week 2, y'all, man. That's what we're here to talk about on this week's episode, man. We're going to get into all the games from week 2. We'll talk about the week 1 games just a slight bit, but not much, but just to recap them a slight bit. And that'll be all for this episode, man. We big on the football right now, big on the NFL, man. Before we go any further, you know I got to say it, man. Shout out to Feed Me Sandwich Kings. Come get you a sandwich. Shout out to DJ Marv. Keep going hard. So, y'all, man, week 2, man. We seen, overall, I can say a pretty great action-packed week 1, man. I liked it that out there. The best, we had 2 overtime games. Then the Monday night game came down to the wire. So, ultimately, a lot of good football plays. Seen some comebacks. Seen some people blow some leads. We actually had a tie too, man, which is actually crazy, man. So I hope y'all all was watching, man. But now we to week 2, man. I feel like nothing definitive should be said about any team right now. I look at it like these first 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks of the NFL season is always the team trying to find their identity. You know what I mean? So we really can't say who each team is right now until they show their identity or we spot their identity. So I think that takes to about week 5. You know what I'm saying? To tell where a team strengths and weaknesses is. You know what I mean? Week 1 is not enough. So, but let's get to this week 2 action, man. So let's start with the Thursday night game, man. Thursday night, we got the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Los Angeles Chargers, man. This should be a great matchup. Chiefs are the home team. Chargers coming in. Justin Herbert turning up. You already know they got a great win last weekend on the Raiders. We got Pat Mahomes coming in here. Just took out, I can't put my hand on it right now, but they just won their first week 1 matchup. So both teams want to know coming into this, man. My pick for this game, I'm going to go with the Chargers. This should be a pretty high-flying scoring game. 2 elite quarterbacks that like to air it out. But that makes me look at who has the better defense, and I feel like the Chargers have the better defense. So my pick in that game, I'm going with the Chargers. Next game, Sunday action. We got the Jets taking on the Browns. New York Jets taking on the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns get their win against Baker Mayfield in week 1. It was a close game, came down to the wire, but Cleveland ultimately got it done. Shout out to that. Jets came up short to the Ravens. Joe Flacco was playing. They lost that game. 0-1 coming against the 1-0 Browns. How y'all feel about this one? Me, I'm going to lean on the Browns, man. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are looking in mid-season form, and it was week 1 last week. They're already looking mid-season form. Kareem Hunt had 2 touchdowns. Nick Chubb over 100 on the ground. Shout out to that Browns rushing attack, man. Jacoby Brissett, man. Let's see. Can he push him to 2-0? I think they can. I'm going to go with the Browns in that. Go with the Browns in that one. Next game, we got the Commanders. Washington Commanders taking on the Detroit Lions. Lions lose a tough one to the Eagles last week. They were getting blown out, but they ended up making a comeback and only lost by 3. So they fought at the end, but ended up coming up short. And then shout out to the Commanders getting a win last weekend. Carson Wentz threw for 4 touchdowns. Good to see him doing his thing again, man. Who y'all got in this one, man? This is a tough one. They 1-0 coming against 0-1 Lions. Give me the Lions, man. Give me the Lions in that. I know they just lost last game, but I'm looking at Dan Campbell. I had them fired up and ready to go and bounce back and show a better performance than they did against the Eagles. But the Commanders are a very tough team, though. Let's not mistake that. Now, I think this will be a good game, but I'm going to lean in the Lions' favor. So I got Detroit in that game. Next game, divisional matchup. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the New Orleans Saints. Both teams end up winning week 1. Bucks take out the Dallas Cowboys. Saints end up beating the Atlanta Falcons in a great comeback fashion. This game is tough, y'all. This game is tough. I'm going to lean toward the Bucks because I feel like the Bucks are more efficient. Like, they'll get more scoring up than the Saints. The Saints, they had a great comeback win last week, but that first half for them, they were pretty stagnant. They really couldn't get too much offense going. So I'm going to just lean in the more solid, the more for sure player in Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. And they look really good, but despite not having a great offensive performance against the Cowboys, they look really good. Defense and rushing the ball and just, being efficient. So I'm going with the Bucs in that. Next game, we got the Carolina Panthers taking on the New York Giants, man. New York Giants end up winning their week 1. Panthers fall short to the Browns, as we all know. The best thing about the Giants last week was to see Saquon Barkley back in action, man. That was dope to see. Ran for over 100 yards, man. Had the game-winning 2-point conversion. That was great. Great win, man. That was great to see, man. I really think the Giants can be tough if Saquon stay healthy, man. If he can tick and stay in the games and be, because I feel like what he gave him last night, that's what the Giants been looking for. You know what I'm saying? If he get him that, bro, I can't say sky's the limit, but I definitely think they can compete, at least for the wild card spot, if Saquon stay healthy. But they're going against the Browns, Baker Mayfield. I know he's looking to bounce back after coming up short last week. Two good running backs, Saquon and Christian McCaffrey. I'm going to take the Panthers in this. Let me take the Panthers in this, man. I know most people want the Giants because of what they see in week 1, but I'm going to go ahead and take the Panthers in that one, man. So moving to the next game, we got the New England Patriots taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. Shout out to Pittsburgh. Great week 1 win. Took out the Bengals, man. Great game. Probably the best game of all week 1, man. Steelers versus Bengals. Went to OT. A couple missed extra points. A couple missed things on the Bengals side. And the Steelers ended up taking that win, man. Shout out to Mitchell Trubisky getting that win. Taking on the New England Patriots, man. Coming off a loss. They just lost in their week 1. So how y'all feel, man? I like the Steelers in this matchup, man. The Steelers D has always been good for years, man, and it's looking like it's going to carry. It's going to carry them this year. They get a good win against the Bengals. That's not to say it's just week 1, but you know what I mean. Like the D definitely can carry the Steelers. Everybody thought this should be a down year for the Steelers, or they might be the worst team in that division, and they could actually compete, man, just because the D and Tomlin. Coaching is huge, bro. I feel like coaching is huge. So they have Mike Tomlin, too. He's a good coach. He's always going to put him in good situations. So I'm going to take the Steelers in that game. Next game, we got Indianapolis Colts taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. Matt Ryan ended up tying with the Houston Texans last weekend, so they didn't get a win, but they also didn't lose. Taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars, who ended up losing last week. Both teams 0-1. Coming into this game, I have to lean on the Colts. I'm not too huge on Jacksonville this year. I feel like they'll be another bottom of the league team. I could be wrong. Trevor Lawrence does look like he's taking strides. They did come back in that game last week. But I just don't have too much stock in the Jags. I really like the move for Matt Ryan going to the Colts. They ended up tying with the Houston Texans, which probably nobody seen coming. I'm pretty sure everybody picked them to win that. But on a bounce back week, bro, I'm gonna stick with the Colts. I think they can do it. Better defense, better offense than the Jags. So going with the Colts. Next game, Miami Dolphins taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Woo! This should be a great game, y'all. Both teams win their week 1 matchup, man. Miami came in with a lot of hype, got a lot of off-season moves. They win their week 1. Tua showing the Jaden Waddle and the Tyreek Hill connection definitely was showing that week 1. Then we moved to the Baltimore Ravens. They win their week 1. Lamar Jackson had a better second half than he had first, but he does end up with 2 touchdowns. 2 or 3 touchdowns, I believe. And Ravens win, man. Who y'all taking in this? This should be a real tough one. I really don't know who to pick. So I'm going to have to lean with the Ravens, man. As I always tell y'all, the Ravens have the ultimate X factor in the NFL, and that's Lamar Jackson. Like, they can beat anybody in the NFL just because they have Lamar Jackson. So Dolphins is definitely going to play them tough, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins pull off the win because their defense is a lot better, and I think they should get some pressure on Lamar, but pressure on Lamar only means so much because you guys know what he can do with his feet. So I'm going with the Ravens in that. Next game, we got the Falcons taking on the Rams. My LA Rams. Atlanta Falcons taking on the Rams in LA, man. As y'all know, man, let's talk about it. I ain't gonna shy away from it. My Rams took the worst butt whooping of week 1. We lost 31-10 to the Buffalo Bills, man. Everybody had a lot to say, a lot to talk about. They feel like we've hit that slump. We're Super Bowl hangover. Jalen Ramsey's not that good no more. Matthew Stafford's elbow. I've heard everything this week. You know what I'm saying? All I want to tell y'all is calm down. It's week 1. You dig what I'm saying? Let's not jump ahead of ourselves. And let's play football, bro. We still got 16 more weeks, man. I'm taking the Rams in that, man. In a get-back game, we got to come out here and show, play our brand of football because we definitely didn't play it last Thursday. Falcons, good team. Drake London, he's looking promising, but I'm definitely taking my Rams in that. Next game, we got Seattle Seahawks. Geno Smith, hot Geno Smith coming in, taking on the 49ers. NFC West matchup, man. NFC West showdown. 49ers end up losing to the Bears last weekend. Seahawks end up beating Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos, his new team. So shout out to that, man, Geno Smith. I do think this will be a really different games in terms of outcome of what people got week 1. I'm going to take the 49ers in this. Trey Lance obviously had some growing pains. They lost Elijah Mitchell to injury. You know what I mean? The 49ers. But this is a 49ers team that still has Deebo Samuel, still has a really great D, and I think they'll figure it out. Still has Kyle Shanahan, great coach. So they'll definitely figure it out. I got to lean on them in the divisional matchup against the Seahawks. Geno, give him his credit, played great against Russell Wilson and the Broncos, man. Almost mistake-free football. I don't really think he made mistakes. He did have 2 late sacks where he got sacked late, but are those really mistakes or did he put that on the line? But got to go with 49ers in that, man. Stronger team. Next game, let's move to the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Dallas Cowboys, man. Shout out to my dog Ryan's Cowboys. They end up taking an L to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Bengals end up also losing to the Steelers. So both teams looking for their first win coming to here. No Dak Prescott. If everybody has heard, Dak Prescott, the Cowboys quarterback, injured his hand, will be out for 4 weeks. Simply, just off that news, I'm just going to take Cincinnati because they're going to be motivated to play better. Joe Burrow threw 4 picks last week. I don't think that will happen this week. Cooper Rush is the guy who's going to start. No disrespect to him, but I'm going to lean on the Bengals in this one just because they don't have Dak. If Dak was there, I definitely would take the Cowboys in that, but he's not there. Give me the Bengals. Next game, Houston Texans taking on the Denver Broncos. Hey, I want to say this, though, man. I know the Houston Texans ain't expected to do much this year, but that's one of my teams to keep an eye on. I think they going to be a lot better than people think, man. Like, Davis Mills, that kid's tough. And then, they haven't lost. They haven't lost the game. They tied last week with the Colts. So, you know what I mean? They take on the Broncos. Denver Broncos obviously want to come in and play a better game, man. They had 3 red zone turnovers on Monday against the Seahawks. So, big reason why the Seahawks ended up winning that game. So, I know they'll be motivated to come in and fix that. I got to go with the Broncos in that. The Russell Wilson to Jerry Jeudy connection looked good in the little bit of snaps we did see it. You know what I mean? So I think the Broncos will build on that. They're going to get better as the year goes. So Broncos. Next game, Arizona Cardinals taking on Las Vegas Raiders. Both teams lose their week 1 matchup. Both teams with 2 good quarterbacks. You know, Kyler Murray, Derek Carr. I'm going to lean on the Cardinals in this one because I feel like the Cardinals have the better D. In these games where teams both have good offenses, I tend to lean toward the team with the better D just because I feel like it has to be a deciding factor, and that can be. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Cardinals, and I think their D can pressure Derek Carr a lot. Devontae Adams, 17 targets last week, man. You know what I mean? So the usage is the same as Green Bay. They're going to need somebody else, man. They're going to need somebody else to step up. It can't just be Devontae and Carr, man. That's not going to take them far, if y'all understand what I'm saying. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals in that. Shout out to Kyler trying to get a bounce back win. Next game, late night Sunday game. Chicago Bears taking on the Green Bay Packers, man. Divisional matchup, man. Packers end up losing their week 1 matchup. It looked like Aaron Rodgers wasn't on the same page with some of his receivers, where it's just a lot of newness, to the offense, or a lot of not Devontae. That's what I would say. Taking on the Bears, pulled out a great win last week against the 49ers. Justin Fields, man, getting his first win. I mean, not his first win, but the first win of the season. Grabbing that. Who y'all got in this, man? I had seen a clip on, I don't know where I seen it, but somebody was saying Justin Fields just he's not the quarterback that's going to go in here and beat Green Bay. And what I want to say is, with all the changing parts in Green Bay, like, I would absolutely not be shocked if the Bears win this game, bro. Like, the Bears have defense. Like, everybody's looking at Justin like, what would Justin do? I believe he'll figure it out. That's the Buckeye in me speaking. I believe he'll figure it out. But, like, Packers obviously supposed to be the stronger team, but I think they are going through some pains of having new people. So, give me the Bears, bro. That's a big pick. Aaron last year was talking about, I still own you. Hey, I'm going to take the Bears taking that pride back this Sunday night. Then we move to Monday, man. Monday's thick, man. We got 2 games, 2 Monday night games, which should be really lit. First game, we got Tennessee Titans taking on the Buffalo Bills. As y'all know, the Buffalo Bills 1-0. Whooped on my Rams, come into this game. Tennessee Titans 0-1. They lost the first week. So, man, I think we'll definitely get a heavy dose of Derrick Henry. We know that, but I gotta lean in the Bills with this. Bills definitely look tough. Defense looked good against us. Offense off the chain. So I gotta lean with the Bills in that. I'm taking the Bills. And the last game on Monday night, we got the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, and this should be great. Me looking at that matchup, Justin Jefferson coming in here. We get AJ Brown on the other side, Jalen Hurts on the Eagles. You know what I mean? Going against Thielen and Justin Jefferson, man. Who y'all got? I'm kind of stuck right here, man. But ultimately, give me the Vikings, man. Dalvin Cook, I think he has a big day. Last week, Justin Jefferson had the big day. I think Dalvin Cook has the big day this week. And all respect to the Eagles, I think it'll be a great game too, but I'm going to lean toward the Minnesota Vikings. And that's the end of week 2, y'all, man. I had to get through all of that, man. We're going to catch y'all here next week for week 3. Make sure y'all pay attention to these games. Remember, if y'all got any product y'all want to advertise, hit us up, Carter Sports Coverage, let us know, and we can put it on the table and let people know about it so we can get the word out about it, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in with us, man. It's Carter Sports Coverage, man. Yeah, check us next week.